fight. For you, is it 50-50?
I think the odds reflect that. You know, I like our chances though. You know, I know the guy that we've got in camp. You know, Jim McDonald's done a great job with James, and I've been here at the beginning of camp and at the end of camp, and the things I've seen from James in this training camp as opposed to the training camps that I've been involved with in the past, I like. And I'll be honest, they're much more positive this time around. But yeah, I mean, you can't underestimate a guy like Eubank. You know, he always comes with a lot of intensity. He always comes to win. But I think Senior made a good point. You know, you have to turn up on the night. Regardless, you have to turn up on the night. Regardless of how much you game planned and how hard you worked in camp, on fight night there's a certain mentality, and I know my guy has it. You know, I know James DeGale was a gold medalist and a two-time world champion for the reason that on fight night he turns up and he knows what it takes to turn up, and he knows what mentality to bring on Saturday night.
James, what are your reflections on what Senior said? About 50-50 fight, you've got the pedigree, you've got the spirituality.
I'm too good for Chris. I said before. I reiterate, he is a tough fighter. He's strong. He's got lots of good attributes. He has, but to mix it and to be a world champion, to go to the very top, you need more than that. As I say, the proof's in the pudding. He's been there every time he stepped up. He's lost, and the last one to George Groves was convincing.
Chris, there is a
Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, how you doing? It's the pig. You alright? You watched boxing last night? I watched it this morning. No. I just watched it this morning and see, this is what's wrong with boxing, isn't it? We have a bet, don't we? I had a bet on the draw, Eubank DeGale. Simple reason. I'm not crying over spilt milk, but simple reason. I thought that Al Heyman hashtag the takeover. I thought that Al Heyman would want it to be a draw, and I thought the people behind the scenes, the judges and all that, would try and get it as a draw. If DeGale had fought a little bit better, he probably would have got a draw, but I had him losing by 4 rounds, and that's being generous to him. 4 rounds. Now, what can I say? James DeGale. Yet again, we've been taken in, haven't we, by fighters who want to go to the well one more time, don't they? One more time they want to go to the well. Now, James DeGale is a shot fighter. No ifs or buts about it, he's shot, right? Let's back up 25 months. 25 months ago, James DeGale, he got old in that 9th round against Badil Jack. After that, 10, 11, 12, he weren't at the races. That's when James DeGale, he got through to the end of that fight, got a draw. He should have got out then with his belt. Since then, he's had the 2 Truax fights. Who's basically level below gatekeeper, but level above journeyman. He's not very good. He'd beat English level. Rocky Fielding beats Truax. Rocky Fielding's British level just, right? And then he fought a guy in Canada for no belt. He got rid of his belt by this stage. Why he did that I don't know, but James DeGale fought a guy ranked 600 on BoxRec. I think today he's about 592, is he? It does fluctuate from day to day, so James DeGale gives his IBF belt up to fight a guy ranked nearly 600 on BoxRec in Canada. Hashtag the takeover. Stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. I think we heard all this before with David Hay twice, didn't we? Hey? Well, we did, didn't we? You know, we seem to hear this, don't we, when fighters need a payday. We're going to hear it off Anthony Croller, aren't we now? Saying he's stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. Better than ever. And fighting Lomachenko, he can be beat. He has been beat. Yeah, got beat in his second fight. I thought he won. It was a split decision against the guy who came in £2 over. But that's by the by. What you've got now are fighters who just want to go to the well that one more time. Now James DeGale now has gone. But I'm going to go through a few little things that I've jotted down here. Let's have a look. DeGale. This is just in my opinion, so believe in what you want to believe. Right, so Eubank won, didn't he? Right, Eubank won by 4 rounds in my opinion, 4 rounds. It was sad to see though, wasn't it? DeGale fighting like that. Could you, no, it was sad to see. Could you imagine what Carl Froch had done to him? Oh my God. It'd have been a slaughter, wouldn't it? DeGale looked shot to bits. Now he looked shot 25 months ago, that's 2 years, 1 month ago, against Badou Jack. Right? His punch resistance. What's James DeGale's punch resistance like? Well, normally he's good, he's never been knocked out, has he? But every time that Eubank, who's not a big puncher and he's a blown up middleweight, every time Eubank hit James DeGale, he looked like he were in trouble. He were even throwing him about. No. James DeGale's done all them IFL interviews, all that media, and he's been telling us all this and telling us all that. So's Paulie Malignaggi. They've been pushing and pushing. Jim McDonnell's been pushing it out there. Now, Jim McDonnell fought for a world title against Azuma Nelson. He also beat Barry McGuigan, who passed it way past his best when he beat him. Well, 3 years past his best, but Paulie Malignaggi is a 2-weight world champion. He's been around the game all his life. When you, how does this reflect on Paulie Malignaggi, the expert analysis guy who's coming from America? Has he just come for a payday, or does he know what he's on with, or is he just a cheerleader, a mouthpiece? Because, or have they brought him on board so it's because James DeGale didn't want to get rid of Jim McDonnell because they're close? Did they bring Paulie Malignaggi on board for another voice, another opinion? Because that undermines Jimmy McDonnell, in my opinion. If Robert McCracken brought Paulie Malignaggi on board to help when Carl Froch was training, do you think Carl Froch would have put up with that? Eh? Eh? Come on! Unbelievable. Now, his timing looked off, but his timing's been off since after round 9 against Badou Jack. 33-year-old. Now, Froch were fighting another 4 years. Froch were fighting 4 years longer than James DeGale. James DeGale's had 29 fights now. 29 fights. But after 25 fights, he was finished. So all you young lads that are watching and want to be boxers, take a look at James DeGale. He's been 10 years, he's been a 10.5 year pro. 10.5 year pro, 29 fights. What does that tell you? You're not looking after him, son. Always injured, not looking after his son. He might be pushing his son in certain camps but not getting the sleep or not looking after himself right. I mean, after 10 years, if he's just starting to do strength and conditioning and all that, there's something fundamentally wrong, isn't there? Did he not want to pay for a strength and conditioner, or is he getting bad advice behind the scenes? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but strawberry diet whey with banana and some Manuka honey. That's expensive, that Manuka honey, but in blender for 30 seconds and it's a meal, isn't it? Like, it's easy digesting for me. But getting back to this, his timing looked awful. Late nights have caught up with James DeGale, signs he needed help after Badou Jack, we've pointed that out. But going through his record, I don't have him down as an all-time great. I've not got him down as an all-time great. In Britain, I'd put, I'm not going to say, these can be in any order, but these are the 10 guys I'd put before him. When you go through from the beginning, from 1984, from the super middleweight division in 35 years from Britain, first champ when Maurice Sutherland won it, you don't hear much about him. You don't hear much about Glenn Catley or Brian McGee. Richie Woodall beat 4 world champions, he don't get much of a mention. And then you get to the big names, don't you? Ben, he beat 7 world champions. Christopher Eubank, as a super middleweight, he beat 3 world champions, Chris Eubank. He beat Ben as a middleweight, but he beat 3 world champions. And he had a big name, didn't he? A bit like Joshua's big name, but not really beating anybody. Hand-picked opponents. You could get away with it in them days, you can't now. But as far as I'm concerned, you'd have your Nigel Benn 7 champions beat, Eubank 3 champions beat, Calzaghe as a super middleweight beat 8, Robin Reed beat 4, like I said, Richie Woodall he beat 4, Callum Smith beat 2, George Groves has beat 3, Chulinoff who beat DeGale, beat Glenn Johnson, he's beat 3, James DeGale's beat Lucien Boutte, who Frotch wrote off, and he beat Truax, who beat him first. So he's beat 2 world champions, James DeGale. Glenn Catley's beat 1, Brian McGee didn't get any, he hasn't beat a champion, he got upgraded to champion. Brian McGee had IBO belt though, didn't he? So, but you know, he's not beat a world champion. But when you look at that record, with all them records, you throw DeGale in mix with them. Frotch beat 10, plus Andre Diddle. Yeah, DeGale beat Andre Diddle. You could say he's an elite fighter, but he didn't have a belt, did he? We're talking belts. James DeGale's career for a gold medalist. Well, who has he beat? He's beat Boutte and Truax. That's it. That's it. Groves beat him. Badou Jack drew with him. Porky Medina were life and death, wasn't it? Eubank's just beat him now, and we know what everybody's opinion is on him. James DeGale's glasses are full in my opinion. Gold medalist Olympics. Could do better if tried, that was my school report. Russell is very good at maths and history. Everything else could do better if tried. So our glass are full. James DeGale, wasted talent, could have done a lot better. That's my opinion, I'm entitled to it. When you look at the CVs of them now, fighters are wanting money for old rope, aren't they? They're wanting money for old rope. You know, you get a rope that's old, you won't be able to sell it out of shop, would you? If you've got a load of new rope. They're wanting money for old rope. They're wanting to just get by and fight people just to get paydays. Now what will happen with James DeGale now is he'll come back. If he comes back with Jimmy McDonnell and his 2 sons, they need to have a look at themselves. And James's mum, I don't like to bring mums into it, but she's his manager, isn't she, or his advisor. They all need to sit down as a group and work out what's best for James DeGale. He's in the ring taking the punches. He needs to sit down with his family and his team, because he's the landlord, isn't he? If James DeGale doesn't earn, all the rest of them are not going to earn, are they now? When you've had big checks for 10 years and all of a sudden them checks are not coming, what happens then? Well, what? It's all very well having money. I know myself what it's like to. I've never been a millionaire, but I know what it's like when you're being in a good position. You're getting them slaps on back. Everybody tells you your best thing since sliced bread. Trust me, it does happen. And it'll happen on a bigger scale than what I've had. James DeGale. You'll see who his mates are now, but there'll also be people. You'll see who his mates are, and then there'll also be people, the other side of the coin is people that are going to want him to fight again. Now, people who are going to want him to fight again, they're going to say things like, you had an off night, bad day at the office, off night, you left it all in camp, oh, you left it all in gym. You left it all in gym, James. Yeah, James the 15-round fighter, we left it all in gym. We left it all in gym. Fantastic fighter, good boy. He left it all in the gym, they're going to tell him. These people are going to want him out there again, because if James DeGale retires, that's what's going to happen. Where's Jimmy McDonnell and his sons and the managers and Paulie Malignaggi? How are they all going to get a payday? How are they going to get a payday? How? Why would you put? For example, James DeGale gave up an IBF belt to fight a guy ranked 600 on BoxRec. Go on BoxRec and look who he beat after Truax, after he won his belt back. He went life and death with Truax twice. Life and death. And then lo and behold, he gives an IBF belt up to fight a guy who's a journeyman that James knocked out. That's his last knockout in a good few years. To fight a journeyman, right, and then fights Eubank for the IBO belt, which James doesn't recognise himself. He says the belt's no good and I won't hold it aloft if I win. So he gives that IBF up, fights a journeyman, fights Eubank. That's it. Well, that's the James DeGale story. How bad is that? Bad advice all the way through his career. Should have stayed with Frank Warren from the beginning, shouldn't he? Well, should he? Should he have stayed with Frank from the beginning? He'd have had, or should he have gone with somebody else? I don't know. Only he knows. But when you've beat Bute well, look at his record. We know he beat Bute, don't we, in Truax. The world champion wins on his record, and there's a question mark over whether Dirrell was IBF champion, what he interim, what he upgraded. It's a bit murky, but let's say he's got 3 wins on his record, but I'm going to say 2. He beat Dirrell and Bute. They would have been beat. James DeGale has not took a belt off a world champion. Yeah, he's took one off Truax, but Truax took him off him first. But it were a belt that were vacant. The belt were vacant that James DeGale fought Dirrell for. Vacant belt. So he's not really beat a champion. Yeah, you could say he beat Truax, as I just said, but he been out in America a few years and that, wasn't he? He rubbed everybody up from the beginning, and his career didn't really have what it should have had. You know, the panache sort of. I don't know, the spark. A bit like Audley Harrison's. He started rubbing everybody up the wrong way, didn't he? From the beginning, and people didn't really get behind Audley, did they? And I don't think people really got behind James DeGale. I don't think so. A British guy winning a gold medal, and they didn't really get behind him, did they? Were there too many bad apples on that aeroplane to Beijing in 2008? I mean, if you look at that Beijing 2008, James DeGale, we didn't really get behind him, did we? Billy Joe, I don't think people have really took to him. Frankie Gavin, he's in wilderness, isn't he? David Price, what's happening with him? Joe Murray, he's gone off, he's disappeared, hasn't he? Who else is there? Sadly, we know what happened to Darren Sutherland, so we can't. He didn't really have that many fights, did he? Bless him. May he rest in peace. Who else were there? Who else were on that plane? There were a couple. There was somebody else. But either way, I don't think that people have got behind James DeGale like they should. Like they should have got behind James DeGale, the British kid winning a gold medal. Look how they got behind Joshua. Had the platform, didn't he, at Sky? James DeGale's not really had the platform. He's been going from promoter to promoter like a little whore, hasn't he? Frank Warren, Mick Hennessy, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren again, Al Heyman, and what it Frank again in the middle. You know, this one is Richard Poxon and Al Heyman. He's been bounced about, hasn't he? Like, it reminds me of Jermaine Pennant. You know, he's gone round the houses with football clubs. And Jermaine Pennant made his debut as a 17-year-old and banged 3 goals in for Arsenal, didn't he? He were the most talked about footballer in Europe, wasn't he, as a 15-year-old. Look what happened to Jermaine Pennant. He was going to be a superstar at 15. They were sending Bentleys to pick him up from school to take him training and that, weren't they? Football clubs. And I think it's too much too soon, one of them jobs, isn't it? A sense of entitlement. And I think that's where boxing is going at the moment. James DeGale will stick around boxing. He will fight again. He'll come back. And like Jimmy McDonald and all them, they'll say to him, as I just said to you, you had a bad night at office and you left it in gym. You left it all in gym, James. And if he gets rid of them and says, I think I need a change, Jim. Because he's gone from looking at getting rid of him to bringing Paulie on. Now if he goes again, he'll get rid of them and he'll probably go Adam Booth, Dave Caldwell. He's going to look to get on Sky with Eddie Hearn and get that one last payday that they think that they're entitled to. Sense of entitlement. Callum Smith flogs him on spot, knocks him out. Too fresh. Bigger puncher than Eubank. Callum Smith flogs him. So he can't fight him. He's not going to go up to light heavyweight, he'd get tortured. If he stays at British level, there isn't really anybody at super middle. If he stays with Jimmy McDonald, goes to a new trainer, he might think that he's a light heavyweight at British level. He could fight Callum Johnson, but I think he'll just smoke him. He'll walk straight through him. Any trainer that takes him on now is a pimp. If Jimmy McDonald takes him on again, or stays with him, and they go again, it's pimping at its worst. It's what's wrong for boxing. It was sad to see, and I feel sorry for James DeGale. 21 minutes. I feel sorry for him. Like, it was sad to see, but that's boxing for you, innit? But all them gimps, and that's what you are, gimps, who keep emailing me saying, oh, he swerves, Carl Frotch swerved James DeGale. Are you kidding me? Swerve James DeGale. Yeah, but when Carl Frotch should have fought him, he would only have that gross defeat and it would at his peak and all that. Let me tell you a little story, right? When Carl Frotch, years ago, were going to fight Andre Dirrell, right? Years ago, James DeGale had a phone call from Bob McCracken. It was Jimmy Mack who answered the phone. Do you want to spar Carl Frotch? Yes or no? No, Jimmy McDonald said no. And the word doing the rounds was that they didn't want Carl to have edge, because they thought that Carl might want a mental edge on James, because they were going to fight down the line. That were their words. We'll get him down the line, but we'll not fight him now. Jim McDonald was offered the fight back in the day. Barney Eastwood got in touch with Jimmy McDonald's people. Do you want to fight Barney McGuigan? Terry Lawless said to him no. Or was it Mickey Duff? Mickey Duff or Terry Lawless, one of them said to him, no Jim, what we'll do, I think it was Mickey Duff, we'll fight him, we'll fight Barry McGuigan, but we'll go around him and get him at the end. And that's what Jimmy McDonald did. They went round him and they got Barry McGuigan at the end when he was 28 and he'd been out of boxing 2 years. He came back after a break and had 2 wins, but or was it 3 wins? He had 2 or 3 wins, I forget now. He got Barry McGuigan at the right time. Barry McGuigan would have wrote Jimmy McDonald off 3 or 4 years previous, but Jimmy McDonald, great fighter, great fighter, 10-mile runs every Sunday, great, very fit, very fit. Listen, boxing's not just about that, you've got to have full package. James DeGale's punch resistance gone now. And like I said, he hasn't really beat anybody that were really elite. Boutte had defeats. Dirrell had defeats. Boutte was knocked out by Froch, and Dirrell had been beat. So, and he'd had that injury as well. So, glass half full for James DeGale. The Porky report, the Porky files. I'm not slagging him. I wish him all the best. He's a boxer. I don't want to see him in the ring again. Any trainers out there watching this, and I know there will be, don't take him on, because in my opinion you'll be a pimp. You'll lose respect taking that man on again. But then again, Dave Caldwell said, and I felt it was sad to see, Dave Caldwell said that about David Price, didn't he? Well, that's Dave Caldwell, how he offers an olive branch. James DeGale might ring Caldwell up now and say, what are you doing saying that on IFL that it was sad to see to Coogan or to IFL? And then they'll get talking, and then Caldwell can put it right. And then say, well, what are you going to do next? Well, I'll train you. Because that's what he did to David Price. It was sad to see David Price get knocked out. 3 months later, he's training him. And we all know what happened, don't we? And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. So it'll be good to see it all unfold now, what the Vultures are going to do, what James DeGale does with his team, and what decisions he makes. Because without boxing, he'll go off rails. He'll go off at rails, I can tell. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. If it has stayed loyal from the beginning with the team behind him. I know he stood loyal with Jimmy McDonald, but really, towards the end he didn't, did he? We're going to get rid of him when he wants, and he broke Malik Naji on. And I think it's sad to see, but young Eubank, he's moving forward, he looks a lot better. He's obviously a fit kid, he likes staying in good shape, but he looked a lot better, and he should go to middleweight. Go to middleweight, young Eubank, and have a big fight with Golovkin. Go to middleweight. If you lose to Golovkin, it's no shame. But go to middleweight and fight Golovkin or Canelo or one of those guys, because you're not a super middleweight. You couldn't finish James DeGale off when you had him on hook, because you're not carrying enough weight. You're fighting a stone lighter than what you should be fighting in the ring on the night. You're probably 10-11 pound lighter than other guys. So alright, peace out, keep on trucking, keep supporting boxing. That's what happens in boxing when you don't prepare. So but keep supporting boxing, it's a great sport, and it was sad to see, but James DeGale will be back because he likes money, and there's too many people around him with their hands around the trough. This is why fighters end up with no money. They have too many people around them. You've got to be like Carl Froch, you've got to be regimented with your money and tell people that you're not getting anything. Now Robert McCracken said that Carl Froch is mean-spirited with money. Mean-spirited, maybe, but he's got a lot of money, hasn't he? Because he doesn't give it away, and that's the name of the game, innit? Would a businessman who works in an office start giving his money away like a boxer? No. Being a boxer is not winning lottery. You're putting yourself on the line every time you get in that ring. Boxing is the only sport where you can get your brain shook, your money took, and your name in the Undertaker's book. Go read the Sonny Liston story, how he died. Remember that? Outside influences in boxing is no good. Go with your own instincts. Alright? Just say no when people ask for money. Say no. That's my job, boxing. If I worked in a factory, you wouldn't ask for it. So why are you asking for it? Because I'm a boxer. Alright? If anything, boxers should be left alone and not be pestered for money, because they're getting hit in the head, aren't they? But I think all them hits in the head makes them generous, because a lot of boxers are daffing money, aren't they? But peace out, keep on trucking. Right. That's that one done. Let's have a look. 28 minutes, not bad. Not bad.
James,
I've left my mark in boxing. I'm a real Don, real G, done everything. Olympic gold, two world titles. Chris performed well, tough, strong. He's on it. He's a good prospect. But
What didn't work for you tonight?
I think I just didn't do enough. But when you're in there and you've got someone like Chris on you, and a lot of wild punches and punches you don't even see. I'm saying that clip me and drop me, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But listen, didn't do enough. He was nicking around. So I was there.
117, 109, one of the scorecards. Could you believe that?
I think the other two was like a round in it, or 2 rounds, and they got the 2 knockdowns. But listen, have to go back, watch. Just didn't do enough. That's what it was, Gabriel.
You talked very openly about this being the retirement fight. So is this the last time we see James DeGale in a ring?
I'm going to go back, talk to my team, talk to my family, but pretty sure, I say, I've been to the heights of boxing, Gabriel. Done everything, boxed the best around the world. Olympic gold, I've made history. I'm a history man, I've left my mark in boxing. So if I call it a day now, I'm nice. Chris, respect, but you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Well, it's great to hear the round of applause from the O2 Arena tonight. To you, James, and of course to the winner tonight, Chris Eubank Jr. Thank you, gentlemen. You've spent a lot of time